These days, flagship smartphones offer so much more than merely a capable camera, which is one of the reasons we no longer call them merely camera phones. That's especially true with the LG V10, a phone that has a lot going for it with a full list of features marked in bold. The LG V10 has got two screens, one of which is always on. It has also got two front-facing cameras, each with its own field of view, not to mention the stainless steel used for its body. As the list is getting longer, it's only understandable that you may have missed the fact that one of the LG V10 best features is its 16-megapixel camera. When we stumble upon a camera that holds such promise, we are always eager to put it through its paces so we can see what it's all about. A 16-megapixel camera may not sound like much, but add a large sensor, optical image stabilization, a super bright f1.8 aperture, laser autofocus, and a color spectrum sensor, and you get one superb package that demands attention. The camera is just as powerful on the software side too. Full manual control of photos isn't really anything new, but manual video control, now that's something. Photography buffs will appreciate the fact they get not only the regular white balance, ISO, and shutter speed adjustments, but also a live histogram and an exposure meter and the ability to shoot in RAW. Manual mode for video builds on top of those with a choice of frame rates, the option to fine-tune the sound recording levels, and even adjust the video bitrate. While operating the camera, the secondary display allows some extra real estate for the various mode switches, turning this exotic hardware peculiarity into a truly useful tool. When it comes to image quality, we're actually quite excited by the V10 camera results. There's plenty of detail in all the scenes we captured. The processing looks great and strikes a fine balance between noise reduction, sharpening, and preserving fine textures. There is actually some visible noise in the photos, but it's nothing to worry about. Dynamic range is very good, though not exactly stellar. The camera will tend to sacrifice a bit of highlight detail to keep the shadows well exposed. Turning to HDR mode can help with dynamic range, but unfortunately some over-sharpening comes into play. The color spectrum sensor helps the V10 score a proper white balance in tricky light conditions. A good thing perhaps, colors remain close to real life, as the V10 doesn't saturate them quite as much as the competition. The optical stabilization helps quite a bit in low light. We were able to snap handheld photos in dusk and in darkness. In auto mode, the phone readily lowered the shutter speed to keep the ISO as low as possible, while relying on its OIS to steady the camera. In manual mode, you can increase the ISO to gain a higher shutter speed, though image quality quickly deteriorates as we push the ISO up. As expected, low-light images are perhaps not as good as the daytime ones, but unless we viewed them at pixel level, we were always happy with the results. It is exactly in low light that the newly introduced rare curtain sting flash mode can be used to capture low-light shots where the main subject is frozen by the flash, but the dark background is nicely exposed and any motion nicely blurred. The LG V10 is easily capable of capturing 4K video, but we've seen that elsewhere. It is the phone's powerful video controls that make it unique with several features we haven't seen elsewhere. First off, there is control over the mic recording level, which you can adjust so that the main sound source in your video recording doesn't come off too loud or too quiet. As the V10 comes with no less than 3 separate onboard mics, you also get control over the audio source direction, which is great for these times when you'd like to narrate for the camera in a noisy environment, or when you'd like to capture sound from the scene in front of you while ignoring noise from your group. In 1080p video mode, you get some extra digital stabilization on top of OIS to make the videos even smoother, though that comes at the expense of a slight decrease in the field of view. The trade-off, however, is well worth it, as these videos come out much smoother. The LG V10 is equipped with one of the best cameras on the market, perhaps the very best right now. Hardware-wise, the V10 camera doesn't really have anything more than the LG G4, for instance, but LG has put some extra effort into the software side of things. There are wide-reaching changes both on the user interface level and under the hood. As a result, the V10 offers LG's best camera experience on a phone, both for beginners and experienced photographers and videographers alike. It's a solid claim by the South Korean company in this heavily competitive space, and we'd love to see more of that ingenuity across their entire range.